The woke Cracker Barrel CEO is doubling down on very, very dumb, thumbing the nose at guest customers and investors. Today, we'll show you the not-so-sorry apology that Cracker Barrel decided to bestow upon everybody, letting them know they're not changing a single thing. They will not stop what they're doing. No, the backlash doesn't matter. And folks, we'll tell you what the chatter is around just how badly things might go for the Old Country Store. Ladies and gentlemen, out of the New York Post, they are doubling down on the dumb and dropping more than crumbs when it comes to their cornbread. Cracker Barrel is trying to be dead in the water. Here's the article. Customers rip Cracker Barrel for lame apology over controversial rebrand. They kicked Uncle Herschel to the curb. This is by Taylor Herslick. And by the way, Uncle Herschel is the guy in the overalls who some people are calling the cracker next to the barrel. He's the older guy, right? And okay, Uncle Herschel's a real dude, like he's in the history of the company. And by all accounts, seems to have actually been a really nice guy, really, really superior kind of fella. So we don't want to make any kind of fun of him. We want to honor the guy. Well, Cracker Barrel apparently doesn't want to, and they are doubling down. Here's what they said, and it's very fascinating how this has been covered by the media, because some out there in the media have wanted to twist and turn this as if it's a real apology. It's not. Cracker Barrel coughed up a lame apology on social media over its controversial revamp and got slammed by customers in response, with one griping the restaurant's beloved Uncle Herschel mascot had been kicked to the curb. The chain has ditched its old-timey decor in favor of white paint, fewer tchotchkes, and brighter lighting. Folks, I've never seen the word tchotchke spelled out in print. I did not know it was spelled that way until I had to say it. Did you all know that?
Yeah,
Lou, you knew that. You knew it was spelled that way.
You knew I knew.
I knew you knew. And has likewise scrubbed mainstays from its logo, including Uncle Herschel, a folksy farmer, wearing overalls, which have been part of the design since 1977. Again, a real guy. Wall Street's concerns over the rebrand, which has been ripped by longtime critics as soulless and woke, have sent the stock plummeting 17% over just the past month. Here is the quote-unquote apology, folks. I want you to notice, we here on the Pro Channel are PhDs in recognizing BS when it happens. And I'm not talking about beans and whatever other side dish they have. I'm talking about the real BS. So we're gonna show you where this happens. We're gonna show you where some sort of little media specialist came in and helped them create something that it's not really an apology. A promise to our guests. If the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. We're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices and for dropping our stock by 17%. Whoopee! You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. In other words, we didn't screw up with what we're doing. We screwed up in how we told you what we're doing. You rubes out there, you dummies, listen, you don't have a problem with what we're doing. If we had just packaged it better, you'd all lap it up because you're a bunch of dummies, a bunch of low IQ rubes across the fruited plains to the US of A. What has not changed, and what will never change, are the values this company was built on when Cracker Barrel first opened in 1969. Hard work, family, and scratch-cooked food made with care. A place where everyone feels at home no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Cracker Barrel you'll always find. Gentlemen on the panel, this is a company in major decline. They're in big, big trouble. They just doubled down. There's not a single thing in there that says they're going to change their ways. They didn't say, hey guys, we got it. You hate the way these things look. We're going back to what we got, okay? They didn't say, hey, we get it. That logo looks like total crap. I mean, it makes the MS Now logo look good. So we're bringing back the old dude. They didn't say any of that. There's nothing they plan to do, not a single darn thing they plan to do. All they did was come out and say, we're sorry for the way we said what we're going to do, because you're so stupid. If we had done better, you would have eaten it up wholeheartedly. Panel, what do you make of this? This is the most arrogant way to handle it. It assumes everyone is ultra low IQ except for them.
Which is what they assume. And every apology from major outfits that apologize these days, we're sorry you're upset. We're not sorry for what we did. we're sorry about your reaction, and who wouldn't be at the value that they've lost? These people are so out of touch with their audience. For, I would say, the last 4 or 5 years, the quality of the food, the quality of the service has been declining. And about that same time is when we saw them start to pay not just lip service, but big money to several semi-radical groups to try and buy their way into woke heaven. And as a certain LW Ghost said in an article currently on that Park Place, this is the old story about somebody who can't whistle and chew gum at the same time or whatever. These big corporations can't do both. And when they put their emphasis on the message and not the content, they fail.
And they follow the same. They follow the. Well, you were on the same track I was going, Lou, or vice versa. They follow the same playbook every single time. It's amazing to me that these people, like this is exactly how Bud handled their situation. This is how Jaguar. They always double down. They have never learned. Now, one of the things I find interesting is how the media has been covering this, because some of the places you would have expected to just, call them out on this have not. For example, Fox Business is saying Cracker Barrel admits it could have done a better job after new logo backlash. No, I don't think that's what they admitted at all. I think they admitted that they could have messaged this better, but they're not. There is no mea culpa whatsoever. They are not changing anything they planned to do.
And they have not fixed the problem with the content in the stores. The last time I was in a Cracker Barrel was on my recent foray down to Florida. And we were coming back, and basically somebody had to pee. And as long as we were there, I said, you know what? I would really like some malted milk balls or some Necco wafers, the great old candy stuff. I go in there. They haven't got Necco wafers anymore. They have Smarties. And the malted milk balls say that they're good old-fashioned malted milk balls from, I think it was called the Georgia or Atlanta Candy Company. And then you look at the fine print, and it says, distributed by some anonymous XYZ company in Illinois.
And they were vegan.
And they were bad is what they were. And, there was years ago, there was a documentary done that showed how they built these stores. All of those panels with all the great old stuff on them, all were pre-built at their headquarters. And remember, folks, this is not a company headquartered in LA or Chicago or New York or Boston. They're headquartered outside of Nashville. They should know better. But they don't. The result is that I was in there and it was pretty empty. I didn't know, but this all broke about a day or two after that. So,
yeah. John Rich actually posting a photo of his store in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, around dinner time on Saturday.
Near their headquarters. Mount Juliet's just outside of Nashville.
Right, and the parking lot was empty, as you saw in that roll that just actually played right there. Very, very interesting stuff. But I see this doubling down. It's very similar to how Disney has conducted itself over the past couple of years or so, as we've documented extensively on all the channels in the network, including that Park Place, WDW Pro, and that Pod Place, and so forth. What happened, I guess there was an incident in the 1990s in which Cracker Barrel was very opposed to a certain persuasion of individuals. And I'll keep it there because I want to go ahead and keep it YouTube friendly. And after that
folks, Vash is talking about burglars. Clearly the man is talking about burglars. Cracker Barrel did not enjoy having burglars walking in the stores.
Go ahead, anyway.
Go ahead, Vash.
It wasn't burglars. They had a very outward stance that we weren't gonna that they weren't going to hire or cater to people who saw a different persuasion than they did when it came to marriage issues that were going on in the 1990s. And ever since then, they have overcorrected in a big way. We didn't document it here on WDW Pro the last time we talked about this, but there's been extensive campaigns behind the scenes in order to correct their image, not too dissimilar to what Chick-fil-A has done, and actually pretty similar to what Disney had done. Remember, Disney, they had kicked a couple of individuals off a dance floor back in the 80s, 90s over there at Disneyland. And a lot of people, have said that they have overcorrected as well with like Pride Nights and so forth, and, the red shirt days and all of that. So I think ever since that incident in the 1990s, I think it's been under fire from some groups who have wanted to turn this institution into something radically different in order to correct or right the wrongs of the past, as it were.
Well, if you look on their website, I don't know if you want to pull it up or not, but I've got it in my back so you can pull it. This is off the Cracker Barrel website itself. They're all in on ESG right now. They're all in on environmental, social, and governance. And you can see the groups that they're in: proud representation, business resource groups. This is who they get. And they talk about the ESG. So these are the groups that they give to. And I'm just going to scroll down. I don't really need to read them, but this is basically who they are catering to and giving money to these organizations, some of which are perfectly fine.
Neurodiversity. Wait a minute. What the heck is neurodiversity?
That's autism. That's autism awareness.
Okay.
Well, or any, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. But then what's interesting is if you go up here, if I go back, there's actually, this is what I found really, really interesting when you go to the website. Is it sustainability? I think
sustainability is going to be about the turnip greens, right?
There it is. Sustainability, Cracker Barrel, a commitment to corporate values. I found this so interesting. Corporate values. They're not talking about your values, not guest, not food.
Let me read this. Let me read this real quick, Ron. It says, among those values, we have committed to drive environmental, social, and governance issues forward by evaluating and reporting how they may impact a variety of stakeholders, including guests, employees, suppliers, shareholders, and the communities we serve. While we are on a journey and recognize there is more to be done in the coming years, we are pleased to transparently share our progress regarding environmental responsibility, food safety and quality. I'm fine with both of those. Providing a great workplace for our team and operating under the highest standards of corporate governance and business ethics. Now, the problem is that a lot of these ESG things involve social responsibility, which you can see is down there below. Social responsibility is a grab bag of woke kind of ideas, often pushed by one particular group of world leaders, let's say. Let's hold on that for a minute, though, because I want to get Tom in on this. Tom, have you ever frequented a Cracker Barrel? Are you a fan? And what do you think about the changes that are happening, the fact that they're not yet ready to say, you know what, we messed up here?
Well, I used to be a fan. Been there plenty of times. Went to business meetings, everything else. Matter of fact, this past weekend, or was it yesterday, Ron?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I took a ride over to Cracker Barrel for Ron in the morning in the show. And traditionally, that Cracker Barrel is full Sunday morning till about 6, 7 o'clock at night. It's packed churchgoers. It's right off Route 95. It's got major hotels by it. And they didn't change the signage yet or the interior. They didn't get to do their refresh for that. But it was basically, you could park almost anywhere. There was nobody on the porch. What, 2 people sitting there smoking a cigarette, Ron?
Yeah.
And that normally not what would happen. So
neither of those people had the internet yet.
To give people an idea of what it used to be, there was a long time when the one that was furthest west was in Kingman, Arizona. And when my wife and I would drive across country on I-40, that's where we'd spend the first night just so we could get up in the morning and go to breakfast at Cracker Barrel.
Listen, I've always thought they had the best breakfast around. Sorry, Valiant Renegade, who says it's Waffle House. No, I've always thought it was Cracker Barrel. I have actually, and this goes to the changes on the menu and stuff, I've had to change my mind. They won't even give you an omelet anymore because they can't. And you say to them, now, wait a minute. I can order scrambled eggs. I can order folded eggs. You're telling me that you can't take the scrambled eggs and just fold them over so it's an omelet? Nope, not on the menu anymore. Okay, then, fine then. How can you be a top of the line? I'm going on a tangent. How can you be a top of the line breakfast place without any omelets? Come on, Cracker Barrel. Come on. Anyway.
Well, when you look at the doubling down and the sticking to your guns, I think the CEO is bound to stick with this. I think the corporate leadership over there, Cracker Barrel, is bound to stick with these decisions. Why? Because the two largest institutional investors at Cracker Barrel right now happen to be BlackRock and Vanguard, which, by the way, those are the two biggest institutional investors at Disney, and it's why we see so many of the different things that we are seeing from both companies, destroying heritage, destroying legacy, destroying, the things that people loved about this brand, chasing a new audience, making it relevant and, modern and so forth.
Which new audience is it? Because here's the thing. One of the things some people who don't know Cracker Barrel may not know. One of the big deals in the store there, they used to rent books on tape. The idea being you take it from this one and you drop it off at the next one when you finish listening to it.
I remember that.
It's all about people, families making road trips. Families as in a mom, a dad, a couple of kids. And what you said about Sunday morning, my God, the after church crowd, it was full of people well-dressed, having come from their place of worship to have a meal. Now it's like, no, I don't.
Well, and here's the thing too, Lou. They took a place, like, we know what Cracker Barrel is. It's supposed to be like the 1930s or the 1940s, Appalachia, soul food cooking. That's what it is, right? It's country style cooking, the kind of stuff you would find in Kansas or Tennessee or Kentucky or wherever from that time period. And when you go there, you step into that era. You step into that setting, and the setting matters. And this lady, this crazy CEO who has not yet said we're going to change a single thing, she's decided this is going to be where you go sip your mimosas. Listen, there's a place to sip your mimosas. It's not Cracker Barrel. It doesn't work. I hate to go to Star Wars. Why do these people, especially these kind of leaders, why do they always go into something and decide that the thing they need to do is take what's successful about it and get rid of it?
And we know her two prior postings, right? Before this, she was CEO of Taco Bell.
She ruined it.
And before that, she was CEO of Mattel.
Really?
Tom, I know. She's the one who brought in the power. What are the power bowls at Taco Bell, the ones that have the protein? She's the one who did that. She's the one.
But also, I think for people who've never been to one, but have been to Epcot and have seen the wonderful American Adventure, that place where they're listening to FDR getting inaugurated on the radio? That's Cracker Barrel.
Right.
That place in that ride is Cracker Barrel, or supposed to be. Anyway.
We'll give Ron the final word. Ron, your thoughts on that? We're not yet at the remorse stage. In the corporate stages of woke grief, we have not yet hit even close to acceptance.
No. Here's the thing, going to Cracker Barrel, what it was always about on the road trips. Look, see how bland that is that you're showing right now, that the blandness, that whiteness on the wall. That's fine certain places, but that's not Cracker Barrel. And what you would love, like I remember being a kid, we're on a road trip and we got to stop at a Cracker Barrel specifically for the uniqueness of what was on the wall at that location.
They were all different.
You would see, every single location was different. So you might see a baseball team, a photograph of a baseball team that played in the 1930s in that particular location above the fireplace, where this person's family, or are they like, you would actually, I remember when I would wait on the food, there's two things to do when you wait on the food. Play the peg game, which, by the way, they also changed. I can't believe that, the wording on the peg game, to make you, so your feelings wouldn't get hurt on the peg game.
You would have thought pegs in holes would be accommodating to the audience they're going after. But what do I know?
Lou, I want to hold on, Ron. I want to congratulate Lou. There were many places he could go with pegs and holes, and he went with the cleanest version of that joke. Ron, go ahead.
I'm learning.
Thank you. Yeah. So, but see the signs on the walls. The other thing that you would do is you play the peg game, and then you would get up and you would actually look around. I would go up, look around the store at all of the different license plates through the era from that, and maybe there's a saw, maybe there's something from a horse. Just all kinds of cool things.
The people who own Cracker Barrel don't like Cracker Barrel.
No, they don't.
The problem.
That's crazy. Yeah. And somebody who worked there had posted some long thing, and it was I think it was maybe on Benny Johnson podcast or something. Anyway, I read the whole thing. I'm not going to go into it, but it was really, really interesting because I saw a parallel with Disney that he worked there for 10 years and he saw this corporation going downhill, that he saw them removing everything. As a matter of fact, he met his wife at Cracker Barrel. He really loved it when he went to work there. And then 10 years later, when he left, it just wasn't the same place. I saw the same thing happen at Disney. When I went to work there in 2014, such a different place than it is right now, and such a different company and corporate culture and everything than it is now. And I saw all of the values that made guests love this corporation leave. And when you remove those values, you remove those guests.
They used to go all over the nation and actually get artifacts from all these different places, and these historical artifacts, and put them in their stores. I mean, that's how connected they were. That's how part of the community they were. That's how much they wanted to honor their history. Brad's
there was
wife
a line on that webpage that you showed that said, "One thing is for certain, everybody's happy when they leave." I don't think that means what you thought it meant anymore.
No, but that's where we are with Cracker Barrel, ladies and gentlemen. They are doubling down. They are not going to stop, not for a single second, until they learn their lesson. And the lesson is still far, far away. There's only one thing. Oh gosh, I was gonna play something. I can't play it. Oh man, there's only one thing that can save Cracker Barrel, and folks, that is, well, if it'll pull up here, hang on a second. There we go.
Brad's wife. Oh.
Sydney Sweeney at Cracker Barrel. That's what we need, a new ad campaign. Sydney Sweeney has great beans. Come on, Sydney Sweeney has.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd think?